Well, hello there folks, and welcome back to the Whiskey Friend with me, Alan. Here we are again, another new week, another new video, another brand new video. And in today's brand new video, we're heading over to the wonderful Highlands of Scotland. We're heading to Glencadam. If you're a whiskey geek or a whiskey nerd, then you would have heard of Glencadam. If you're new and you're watching for the first time and you're trying to get into whiskey, this is definitely one of those under the radar distilleries that you should be checking out, folks. So hang fire. I'm going to share this wonderful 15 with you. For me personally, it's like reacquainting myself with an old friend that I haven't spoken to for 2 to 3 years. We've bumped into each other in the street. We've met and we've went to the bar and we've had a couple of drinks together. I'm getting reacquainted. This is how I feel with this whiskey. This is that type of whiskey. I don't know why we lost touch. I don't know why it's taken 2 or 3 years to get back together. But here we go. I'm going to give it a go, guys. It's one of those spectacular. So Glencadam has been around since 1825. It's went through various owners. It's been mothballed a few times. It's been closed a few times. It was purchased in 2003 with Angus Dundee PLC. So big props to them. And I don't think it's looked back ever since. It has a very, very healthy core range. It's the 10-year-old, the 13-year-old, which are both up on the shelf here. Then there's the 15, the 17, the 19, the 21 and the 25. They're all fantastically priced as well. So it's really, really honest, good honest whiskey at good honest prices. There is a few other bottles in there. They've got some special bottlings, some port cask finishes and things like that. But this is purely, predominantly 15 years in ex-bourbon casks, which is absolutely fantastic. So no finishing, no gimmicks, no nothing. Let's dive into it, guys. Let's nose it, let's taste it, let's score it. It's been covered up for the last hour or so. Wow. Fruity, bright, fresh. Definitely fresh fruit. A little bit of tropical fruit. Melon. Banana. The fresh fruit is fresh fruit, orchard fruit. It's apples, it's bags of apples, bags of pears, peaches, some stone fruit in there as well. So there's lots of fruit going on the nose. It's light. It's a light malt. Colour wise, it's light gold, light straw. Got some fantastic legs going down there, guys. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there's some nice, thick, slow moving legs, and it's beading up really, really nicely. So all in all, great start to this one. The fruit is initially what gets you. It gets you engaged. It sets your senses alight. But then, as you get really into the fruit, it becomes much more maltier. Lots of cereal going on, lots of breakfast cereal going on. Honey, vanilla. But those fruits are all over it. And then, really in the back, if you really dive down and find it, you'll find some nice soft spices. Some baking spices, maybe some cinnamon. A little bit of nutmeg maybe. But wow. What a nose, and it's a great nose, guys, but how does it taste? So let's check it out, let's taste it, let's send it down the hatch responsibly, of course. So wish me luck. How you doing, old friend? Let's have a sip. Oh, so good. The nose is engaging. It's fresh, it's fruity, it's bright, it's a little bit of malty character, a little bit of cereal going on, some spices kicking through. But it certainly doesn't prepare you for when you go to the palate. So for me with this one, the main event is the palate. It's spicy up front, it's punchy. That 46% lets you know that it's a powerful 46% ABV. It's a little bit assertive, but at the same time, it's a light, delicate whiskey. So if you come to add some water to this one, guys, be careful when you add the water. Just do a few drops at a time, because it'll take some water, but it's a light, fruity, delicate whiskey, folks. So So let's dive a wee bit more and let's have a second sip and see where it takes us. So good. Research, of course. Spicy arrival, assertive, mouth coating, little bit of dryness on the finish, little bit of heat, little bit of spice. The dryness goes away very, very quickly. The fruit comes through, the juicy fruits, juicy apples, juicy pears, juicy peaches, juicy melon, a little bit of ripe banana there maybe. It's tangy, a little bit fizzy. As it's developing, those fruits are becoming a wee bit more kind of confectionery, maybe some a little bit of dried fruit there now as well somewhere. Got that kind of fruit pastel, that kind of opal fruit on the palate. Still juicy, still tangy. As it's developing, it's becoming a little bit nutty. Maybe some almonds. The cereal is there, the maltiness is there in the back. It's wonderfully balanced whiskey, it's all beautifully put together. And heading into the finish, it's becoming a little bit spicier, a little bit oak spice, a little bit of wood spice, and a little bit woody. I think that's the 15 years it's delivering that. What a whiskey, what a palate. Let's see how it finishes, guys. Let's give it a score and we'll get going. Okay, on the finish. So on the finish of this one, it's medium finish. Spicy, cinnamon, nutmeg. That oak spice is there. It's a little bit oaky, a little bit woody. It's still creamy. Maybe a wee touch of salt in there as well. A little bit salty. Spicy, salty, nutmeg, cinnamon. It's creamy. Maybe a little bit of some sort of pudding going on. It's a bit puddingy. Malty. It's gone medium, maybe long now, so the spice is dragging it out. I think the spice is dragging it out. So all in all, what a wonderful, wonderful whiskey. I think the main event of the whiskey, guys, is definitely the palate. It's so much going on. It's a real complex whiskey. It's really engaging. There's so much. It can be quite. It's not a challenging whiskey. If you're new to whiskey, then it might be quite challenging. If you're a whiskey nerd or a whiskey geek, this is certainly one of those that would be constantly on your shelf, and it would maybe some sort of go-to whiskey whenever you just want to impress someone or just want to just enlighten how good whiskey can be. So Glencadam's one of those special, no finishing, no massive marketing teams, just good, honest, reliable, affordable, honest whiskey, and that's definitely the best I can say in it. Well done, Glencadam. What did we score it? So score wise, I'm thinking it's a bit of a no-brainer. For me, it's 89 out of 100. Definitely quality whiskey. I'm so glad I've got back on it again. I'm not too sure why it took me so long. I think maybe I've just tried so many other different whiskies that this kind of fell by the wayside. But this will definitely be getting replaced. Bear with me. I'm going to check out, maybe pick up the 18, maybe pick up the 19. Maybe look into more Glencadams. So heading forward into 2023, you might find I might do more Glencadam as we go down. It's been a while. We're rekindled. We've got back in touch. Super happy to have them back in my life. If you liked the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you've hit that subscribe button, then thank you very much and welcome back. If you've not, then what are you waiting for? It's just down here, that big red thing. Guys, Patreon support. I'm so humbled with the support that I'm getting on Patreon. We have got a few new Patreons recently, and there's been loads kicking around from the very, very beginning. So a massive thank you to each and every one of you guys. If you feel that you want to dive in and check out this Whiskey Friend journey on Patreon, then feel free. I'll pop the links into the description. If you want to come on board, I'd love to have you on board. But other than that, I'm the Whiskey Friend. As I always say, the pleasure is in the sharing, and don't forget to send some good whiskey straight down the hatch, responsibly of course. Until next week folks, see you then. Bye bye now.